Hi, legends. Let's see if the feed comes through and then I'll continue talking because yesterday, yes, there we go. Feed's coming through. It looks like the mic is working. It looks like you can see me. Welcome here to another live stream, legends. Is it a good time to buy? Right, we're getting another dip here to the downside. Scary, right? When you see these, well, in my case, purple candles, I see opportunity. Where people see red candles, they see fear, right? This is why. Just a little bit of inside info before I dive into the technical analysis. I often get the question, Dewald, why do you have green going up and purple going down? Okay. And this is purely from a psychology perspective, because as humans, we are trained, programmed with our upbringing that red is dangerous. Stop streets, okay? The stop signs, blood, traffic lights. It's red means stop. It's danger. You know, all the warning signs out in the world has red inside of it. And from a psychology perspective, when you see red candles on your chart, you would think danger, stay away. Okay, and when you change the color, you will see that your psychology and trading also changes, where purple is one of my favorite colors. And well, red is also one of my favorite colors, but purple is one of my favorite colors from a psychology perspective. Okay, so purple going down means opportunity. Do not get scared, Dewald. It provides a short to the downside, potentially buying or potentially presenting a buying opportunity. Legends. Okay, today we'll analyze the price of Bitcoin, go through the probable scenarios over here, and also go and look at a couple of altcoins. We'll look at liquidity, we'll look at CVD, we'll go through a couple of altcoins, and most importantly, we'll go through some comments. Okay, I also have a nice little bonus, a surprise, okay, for everyone that's used the Weeks link. If you're already a Weeks user and you've used my link down below, or if you have not, right, there's a nice little surprise. Okay, and I'll get to that in a moment. Let me say hi to the beautiful community over there, and then we can get the party on the road. Murat, good evening. It's also, yeah, it's almost evening, 15 minutes, it will be evening here in South Africa. First like from me, thank you so much, I appreciate it. Yes, smash up the like button on your way in. First like from the loyal fan. Yes, Jimmy, welcome to the live stream. Buy me, Dewalds will save us. No, guys, you need to save yourself with great risk management. All I can do is technical analysis, Fibonacci, range low, range high, D-line strategies, Elliot wave theory. I mean, those are the technical things that I can dive into to give us probabilities, okay? Trading is a game of probabilities. If you have a 70% probability that you're going to move to the upside, it's better to look for longs, because now you're trading with probabilities. If there's a higher probability to move to the downside, it's always better to look for shorts, okay? So if the trend is your friend until the very end. So at the end of the day, it's not me saving you guys, but I'm glad you feel that way, right? But it's about applying technical analysis and looking for the probabilities and trading with good risk management, so that if the probabilities turn against you, you lose as little as possible. And when the probabilities plays with you, you make as much as possible. Okay. That's the key to trading. At the end of the day, that is the key to trading. Can you win more trades? Then when you lose less capital. And that is what keeps you profitable as a trader. Okay, cool, legends. I'm already here in the education mode already, but I'm sure you guys are here for the technical analysis. For those of you that have watched Andy's live stream and you're joining my live stream over here, my partner in crime has most probably discussed all the scenarios that I'm about to discuss, but maybe there's some golden nuggets, Okay, right, let's go to Barta. Hello, Mr. D and legends, welcome. Mr. MK1 Alexander, morning, legends. Vahano, right, I do apologize if I don't pronounce your names correctly, because some people just have some really weird YouTube usernames. Okay, cool, I'll try my best. Olivier, you are danger. You red t-shirt owner. Yes, I do have my gym shirt on here today. It's very hot here in South Africa in the moment. So I thought, I'm just going to dress cool and light today. Also a little bit sunburned, so the long sleeve shirt really hurts my shoulders. I spent too much time in the sun during the weekend. Who else? Abby, Thomas. Come on, Dewald, he's wearing red. I need to close my logs. Dewald, tell us fast. Buy altcoins at 0.618 bounce or not fast. Fast. Yes, I think we are entering a potential great buying opportunity, right? And there are some altcoins that I'm busy scooping up. There's some altcoins that I added this morning to my spot bags. Well, not fresh altcoins. I've just added ever so slightly to my spot bag this morning. And I'm also planning to open up a couple of swing trades. And one of them I've already nibbled at. Okay. Forever grateful, Luckies. Thanks for joining the stream. I've learned so much from you, Dewald. My Elliot wave analysis has improved thanks to you. Yes, and by no stretch of the imagination do I call myself what do they call themselves? An Elliotician. That sounds so fancy. You know Elliot wave theory so well that you can call yourself an Elliotician. Okay. I do not call myself an Elliotician, but I do know enough to be profitable as a day trader. Okay. I don't always trade Elliot waves per se, but Elliot waves at least gives me directional bias whether I should be looking for longs or shorts. Okay. And then I use and I apply my trading strategies for those trades. Sun's out, guns out. Dewald, as always, your timing is very good. Right. Trend stole Finn Gummy's girlfriend so sad. Trend stole Finn Gummy's girlfriend so sad. I always pronounce Bernie as chicken brownie. Papa, hi, Dewald. I'm itching for a long CVD looking juicy and at the 15-minute. Yes, I mean, there's no denying, okay? This is something that I was checking before I went live. There is no denying that we are building up, even with the scary dump here to the downside, okay? After what happened yesterday, where the altcoins just absolutely bled out. Guys, you have to remember, when Bitcoin falls down and Bitcoin dominance goes up, okay, that is when the altcoins experience a bloodbath. I saw altcoins 20, 30, 35% down last night. It was not. This was a brutal move for some of our favorite altcoins. Okay, but I mean, what I can like to see over here is a little bit of lots of bullish CVD building up over here. You can see price is still forming higher low, where it is right now. It's still a higher low, and CVD is absolutely tanking to the downside. Triple confirmation, blue, yellow, and white is falling to the downside, showing me that retail is pushing the price down, and smart money, okay, smart money is saying, bring it on. We will absorb all of your shorts and fill our long bags, and then we're going to send it. Okay. Then we're going to send it to the upside, and we're going to liquidate all the retail that's entering shorts here at the moment. Okay, legends, and this is not because I'm entertaining you over here with my little smiley face. Okay. This is just what the data is telling me. Price action moving up, CVD falling down, right? That is bigger players or market makers, smart money, however you want to define those players, absorbing the shorts that's falling here to the downside. Right, so you have to ask yourself the question, do you want to trade with retail or do you want to trade with smart money? Because I can tell you now that smart money wins the battle every single time. If I go here onto the 4-hour time frame, and we look at this structure over here, do you guys remember who won this battle? Okay, do you remember? Right, price was grinding to the upside. CVD was absolutely tanking here to the downside. Okay, I'm looking at this price action over here. CVD was absolutely tanking. Right, we still formed higher lows, and this high was the target. Who won this battle? Smart money. They claimed and stopped out everyone over here. Okay. Liquidating all the short players, and then they send it down and they filled up their long bags, and now we are kind of just, I think we're going to keep on ranging here for a little while longer before we take the high and before we take the low. Okay, that's basically what it looks like here at the moment. Okay, it looks like Bitcoin. You can see I have a little bit of a triangle. Let's keep it simple. Let's keep the technical analysis just a little bit simple over here, okay? Because a lot of people struggle with Fibonacci and Elliot wave theory. Dewald, what are you smoking in the mornings? Yes, sometimes I do like to smoke my socks, okay, but they do smell like Stay Soft. Hello, Dewald. Jeffrey, hello. Ravi Kumar. Fast, tell about BTC and Gold View. Okay, Flux, please. Yes, the altcoin requests coming in already. The altcoin requests are coming in already. Flux looks absolutely amazing. Okay, let me just say that Flux looks absolutely amazing, and I wouldn't be surprised if Andy spoke about Flux during his live stream as well. So I will go through Flux, and I'll also go through a couple of other altcoins. Right, legends, now, okay, because we are building up insane bully CVD against this pivot, okay, let's just quickly discuss worst case scenario as prices dropping here to the downside. It would be nice to get an SFP from that low based on the insane bully CVD that we're building up. Price dips down below and it gets acceptance back above that pivot. That to me would be a beautiful long. Okay. Maybe you could even break that trend then to the upside. You dip below, you claim the liquidity, you dip below based on bullish CVD, you find upwards momentum, you break the trend, and maybe we move to the top of the channel or the triangle over here. Maybe we move to the top, and I can tell you guys now that this will be a very important point. But before I get to this point, okay, worst case scenario. Let's just discuss worst case scenario more locally, okay? I'm not talking about this just as yet. Right, let's just talk about more locally what could potentially play out based on insane bully CVD. Okay, there's also that chance that you dip below and you then get acceptance back above this low. Okay, right, that to me for now looks like the worst case possibility at the moment, because we have this insane bully CVD building up. Okay, we're still forming higher lows, and CVD is absolutely just tanking here to the downside. Right, let's go back here onto the 15-minute. Just look at the local structure over here. Right, we have a triple confirmation. As price is dumping, I would like to see a successful swing failure pattern below this low. And for those of you that might be asking, Dewald, what on earth is a swing failure? Okay, a swing failure means that you fail to break down below this pivot over here. Okay, so what I would like to see from a price action perspective, based on CVD as technical analysis, let's go here onto the 15-minute as well, is that I would like price, okay, you take a little horizontal, I usually take my magnet and I snap on a little, oops, let's try this again, okay, and I snap on a level over there, right, you can make it any color, let's make it white, and you can even put an alarm so you make sure that it gets hit properly, right? So the one scenario that I will be keeping an eye over here is that does price dip below and get acceptance back above? So it needs to dip below. It basically stops out everyone that have their stop losses over here. Okay, it leaves a wick behind and it starts trading above this level. That is basically a swing failure pattern, but it needs to happen fast. Okay, you don't want price to chop here below, because then you're more than likely going down a little bit lower. Price action should not stay below this level for very long. Okay, so swing failure pattern is you basically dip, you grab the liquidity and you move away. Okay. Right, so this is potentially a live trade that we can take here together depending on how price action plays out over here. We do have some bullish CVD building up from a Fibonacci perspective, taking a fib from the low to the high. Okay, that's also in confluence with a 0.618. So we have some nice Fibonacci confluence, 0.618. We have nice bullish CVD against all these pivots building up at the moment. So I would only be interested in a long position if price dips down below and gets acceptance back above. Right, sometimes you enter, you have your stop below the low, price moves in my favor. My style of trading is I protect my position immediately as soon as I'm in profits. That's my style of trading. Some traders like to leave their stop loss there and even give it a little bit of room, because you always sometimes get those double or triple bottoms. Price comes down and it does that. Okay, so, and this one might even be lower than this low over here, and then it could stop you out, right? And if you protected your position too quickly, it will also stop you out. But I'm a very, very persistent trader. If I get stopped out, I enter again if I see the price action that I like. If I get stopped out again, I will enter again. But usually I get stopped out at break even, so I don't take a loss. Sometimes the only thing that I pay is the trading fees, but I don't take a loss on my capital. It's just my style of trading because I'm persistent. A lot of people, when they get stopped out once or twice, they get too scared to re-enter the trade, even if the price action looks good. So that's just something that comes with experience and persistence and being robotic about the trade, not risking more than what you can afford to lose, and looking at the price action from a robotic lens perspective, okay, not from an emotional perspective, because that's how you get yourself burned, right? A lot of traders, they see this, get acceptance back above, they go 50x the entire portfolio, they have their stop loss below the low, price does this, it comes back for a retest, okay, maybe it dips down below, now they're in a massive loss because they've already 50x the entire portfolio and they don't want to take the knock on the chin. So they've put the stop loss there, but they don't want to accept the loss. What do? They move their stop loss down and they start adding. They start adding to their position, right? It drags the entry down, drags the liquidation price down, and price moves down further. And they just keep on adding to the position. And then eventually they either get liquidated or they eventually get stopped out. So the key about trading is to plan your trade, know where to put your stop loss. And if it gets hit, take the knock on the chin. Right, just take the damn knock, because yesterday with this flash crash here to the downside on many of the altcoins as well, okay, I got some personal messages from people saying that they've either liquidated their accounts, okay, like ETH down here. I mean, I'll go through ETH here in a moment, but like AR, I've done some in our Legends Pro community, I've done some analysis over here, but you can see the altcoins has really bled out here to the downside. And I mean, even with this little move here on AR, if you were one of the top buyers over here, if you FOMO'd into long positions here at the top over here, and with this flash crash that we had here to the downside, I mean, that's a 27% move to the downside. And if you 10x'd your portfolio, you are liquidated. There's no more portfolio left. Okay. Even at 5x leverage, you are liquidated, right? So you have to be very careful with leverage on altcoins, because the percentage moves on altcoins are insane, right? Here on Bitcoin, these little moves that we trade over here is, I mean, if we get a successful entry over here and you target the highs, that's a 3% move, okay? It's tiny. It's really tiny, compared to a 27% move or a 30% move to the upside, right? You don't have to be aggressive with position sizes inside of altcoins. Ooh. Sorry, got a little bit thirsty over there. Okay, I will also go and have a look at ETH and just analyze ETH at the moment. AR looks great. DR looks great. Fetch looks beautiful. Flux looks amazing, and I'm sure there's a lot of them that looks good, but I mean, at the end of the day, if Bitcoin is going to get a little bit of a recovery bounce here to the upside, it is a rising tide is going to raise all the ships. Okay, so some people do ask me to look at specific altcoins, asking me, well, is the bottom in? And for some of the altcoins, it actually looks pretty amazing. Sorry, these alarms are very distracting. But I can tell you now, even with the alts that looks amazing, if they recover back to the upside, it's obviously going to drag the whole market to the upside. The rising tide is going to raise all the ships. Okay, legends. Now I'm very interested in this price action. Okay. As long as price is trading below, I'm not interested. We still have some insane bullish CVD building up, so it looks great. This is my first area of interest. Remember what I said, I am not interested in a trade as long as price is below. Then it must just fall. I'm not interested. But if price starts recovering back up, then I become very interested. Okay, so let's just observe. Let's just observe. Maybe it's going to go to... Let me see if we can measure some waves over here. I just want to check something here. Do we have some more confluence? 1.236. We just tapped the 1-to-1 extension. Right, now I'm just going to keep the analysis simple over here, basically just looking for price action to tell us what it wants to do over here. Okay, and that is typically where I would enter right now. That's where I would enter. That's how I snipe it, because now I know where my stop loss should be, and that's exactly where I would have entered. Now you're getting some momentum to the upside, and if momentum continues a little bit higher, I start protecting position. But you can leave your stop loss there in case it comes back for a retest. Okay, sometimes it comes back for a retest and then it continues, and if your stop loss is too tight, you could be stopped out and price leaves without you. So it really is up to you as a trader. And if you guys want to trade, and I'm hoping for those of you that did catch this little teeny weeny long over here, right, that you used one of the links down in the description. Okay. Yes, teeny weeny, right. I've got Bluffin, and let's just see. I think the team uploaded a new special here. Yes, for the Bitcoin Census team. $100,000 deposit and trade reward. So basically the more you trade, the more money gets airdropped into your account. Go check this out. This is for new signups and also for existing users. So go check it out. It will last until the 31st of December, basically for the whole of this month. The other thing I wanted to discuss over here, Mr. Legends and ladies as well, because I know there's ladies watching the live stream as well, is weeks. There is something amazing happening here at the moment. Not only do you get up to 20,000 sign-up bonus, not only do you get some of the lowest trading fees by using this link for new and existing users if you select this little button over here. Okay, quite exciting. This screen pops up. You can go and register. If you're already signed up, this will be a registration button. If you're not signed up, this will be a signed up button. And then the more you trade, you get to spin this little wheel over here. You can win 1 Bitcoin or 666 WXT token, 20 USDT, an Apple Watch, 10. I mean, you know, that's the logic of the wheel. There's some really okay prices, and then there's some great prizes. An iPhone 16, a Louis Vuitton bag, an iPad Air. So legends, go and register and sign up with the link below. Click on the second link to get to this page. Register. The more you trade, the more times you can spin this wheel and win some amazing guaranteed prizes. Right, and this is for the Bitcoin Census team exclusive offer, right? Exclusive only for the Bitcoin Census team. So it is, you will only find this little wheel. Yeah. Right, okay, cool, legends. What's cooking over here? Right, legends. So basically, I mean, this is your trading setup. Okay, not all trades play out, and this is why we trade with stop losses, but this is typically a trade that I would have entered as well. I didn't enter the trade because I'm, you know, presenting the show over here. Okay, as soon as you get acceptance back above, I'll go look now where the target is, but that's basically your stop loss. Your stop loss is 0.34% away. It's a teeny weeny stop loss, okay? And this is why you can be a little bit more aggressive with leverage, because leverage gets calculated on how far away your stop loss is, which tells you how much risk you can apply. Do you want to risk 1% of your portfolio or 2% of your portfolio? If you get stopped out, you should never ever lose more than 2% of your portfolio if you get stopped out. Okay, cool. So now profit taking area, I just want to see where the VWAP is, because that's always a TP1 for me, right? VWAP is always a TP1, and I actually put it here right at the right zone because I can see the resistance area over here. This is always a TP1 zone right over there by round about $97.130. That's always a TP1 zone. Yes, it can do this, right? It can go to the top of the channel, but as a trader, I always pay myself. As a day trader, I have to pay myself. If I hit TP1, I will take some profits. If I take the highs, I will take some profits, and maybe I'll leave a little bit of the position open for what if. Okay, what if we go and claim that high? But I pay myself on the way up so that this doesn't happen. It stops me out. I was in profits, it stopped me out, and now I have nothing. Right, you need to control that little greed monster inside of you. So very curious to see how this trade is going to play out. But this is a trade that I would have taken with good risk management. Right, let's go. Miss Melanie, good morning, everyone from Los Angeles. Welcome to the live stream. Appreciate you being here. Chainlink Crypto, run it back up. Does Zeta look good? I will go look at that. Dewald is going to lecture you. Get ready. WWW. What did Mr. WWE do over here? What did the people do? Okay, what about trend line on 4 hour? Okay, we will get to that in a moment. Okay, legends, so I'm not going to just focus here on the price action. I've given you the invalidation, okay, the 3 Ws. I always preach about the 3 Ws. Why are you entering? Swing failure from the low, bullish CVD, there's already 2 ticks, okay, 0.618, usually a beautiful retracement target, so 3 ticks, okay, and usually when I have 3 ticks and more that I can tick off as to why I'm entering the trade, I will be a little bit more aggressive. The more ticks, the more aggressive I am with my position size. The less ticks, the less aggressive. So if I have 1 or 2 ticks, I will sometimes enter with 0.5% of my capital or risk 0.5% of my capital. If I have 5 ticks, I will go up to 2% of my capital. Right, so let's see what price is doing over here. I just want to see on CVD. Let's go here on the 3-minute time frame. I just want to see more locally what is happening with CVD. Oh, not much. Very neutral at the moment. It's potentially just coming back for retest. Okay. Right, legends. So we've covered the why. We've covered the where is my invalidation. You take the knock. You fucking take the knock. Sorry for my French, but you take the knock, legends. Please don't add to position. You've now planned the trade. Where am I taking profits? Okay, at the VWAP, at the highs, and maybe you leave some open to come and claim that pivot. Right? So it's still a 4.74. Even if you close your position over here, it's still a 4.74 risk to reward. So for every $100 that you're risking, you're potentially making $400. And these are the type of trades that you want to get into. Not all of them play out, and this is why we have great risk management. But this is a trading strategy that I apply all the time that makes me profits week after week, month after month. Okay, right. So now that I have discussed the little trading setup over here, and maybe I should have put live trading in the thumbnail title today, okay, but nonetheless, let's go and look at the 4-hour trend that has just been highlighted by one of the legends. Okay, let's just switch off the VWAP, let the trade play out. The one thing I just want to highlight here over legends, what I sometimes do is if I do get stopped out of the trade and it gets acceptance back above, I re-enter. That's just how I trade. I'm very persistent, especially if I see the price action that I like. But I will take the knock. I will not move my stop loss. I would rather re-enter the trade after I've taken the loss if I see the price action that I like. Okay, but I will not move my stop loss in anticipation that it's going to turn around at some point. It's just because that has gotten me into trouble many times when I started out trading. Okay, cool. Did it stop us out? Did it ever so slightly just stop us out? Not? Okay. Let's see. It looked like it just front run the stop loss over there. Let's see, legends. Okay. And just be careful, Microsoft announcement within an hour or so. Okay, so we are expecting a little bit of volatility over here. Okay, cool. I would not be surprised. I mean, this trade is still in play. I'm just going to move it to the side. I'll just take it out so we can see the real estate. I would not be surprised if price comes down further. It taps the 786 and then it gets acceptance back above. That's typically where I would re-enter. It is a little bit further, the stop loss, but then I will use less capital. But it might just get the acceptance back above now. Okay, so it's worth an attempt. Right. Okay, cool, legends. Let me take this out the way. This is how we scalp. This is how we trade. So let's go on to the 4-hour time frame and switch on some trend lines. One of the legends asked here, Dewald, what about the 4-hour trend? Well, let's see what trend lines I have already prepared over here. Ooh, we are losing this trend. Okay, from a simplicity perspective, there's a little trend over there, and it looks like we are losing this trend. So I can imagine how bearish this is making people, and that to me explains this. Okay, below the trend explains to me why retail is shorting. Because what does retail do? If I take all the trends here out the way, okay, let me just quickly take out all the trends here, just to clean it up and show everyone. Retail is obviously watching this trend like a hawk. They're watching this trend. This looks bullish, right? As long as we're trading above the trend, yes, that was a liquidity grab or a flash crash, but as long as we're trading above the trend, okay, that looks good. As soon as we trade below the trend, that is bad. We need to short. We need to short. We have broken trend to the downside, so we need to short. And that explains to me what is going on over here. This is retail shorting this trend over here. Okay, and smart money is saying, bring it on. Okay, this trend is not valid. Okay, the trend that I like more, I'm not looking at that trend anymore because the structure, okay, you have to accept that this structure has invalidated this trend. Okay, why? Because it broke out, it broke down, it broke back in, it broke down, it broke back in. So it's chopping through the trend. And when price action chops through a trend multiple times, it's invalidated. I remove it or I adjust it. Okay, so no more trend, delete. Okay, so the trend that I'm now interested in is this one over here. Okay, this is now the trend that I'm interested in. A trend from this low to this high, and a trend from this low to that high. Because I know from an Elliot wave perspective, we could be building up a WXY, and this could be the completion of the Y wave over here that ends in a triangle where you have A, B, C, D, E. And then you have a breakout to the upside. And that is typical Y wave behavior. So it could be forming this triangle unless the triangle gets invalidated. Because a Y wave can also end in a flat where it goes back up, it goes back down, and then it breaks out. So a Y wave can unfortunately be many corrective structures. It can be a flat that takes the high and the low again. It can end in a triangle. Or it can just end in a normal zigzag, and then it continues A, B, C, and then we continue. Okay, so unfortunately, there's no easy technical analysis from an Elliott wave perspective in terms of what is going to happen over here. For now, I can see that there's the formation of a triangle, and I really only like to talk about A, B, C, D in once the D wave is in. Once the D wave is in over here and we start rejecting back to the downside, I will be talking more about the triangle. But it is still a little bit early to talk about Mr. Triangle over here because we don't have the D wave yet. Okay, so I'm just anticipating what could potentially play out over here, but I want the D wave to be in. I don't want us to take this high because the rule in a triangle, okay, let me do this. Here we go, right? The rule inside of a triangle is that each pivot is not allowed to take the high or the low of the previous pivot, okay? So C is not allowed to take A, D is not allowed to take B, and E is not allowed to take C. So this could potentially, if the triangle is going to play out, this could be your low because E is not allowed to take this low. Okay, right. But I mean, still a little bit early to talk about this scenario over here, legends. So, and I mean, there are so many scenarios that can play out. We could also, okay, another scenario is, and it's also still too early to call for this scenario. There's another scenario that's a little bit more bearish. Okay. Just want to see where I need to draw that trend from. Okay, it looks something like this. Okay, maybe it will be contracting. We'll see. But you could have a scenario where you have a 1, 2, you're building a third wave now to the downside. 3, 4, 5. A, B, C to the upside. You want to make one more leg to the downside, and then you can potentially continue momentum back to the upside. So in this structure, A, B, C, okay, your C wave can end in a contracting diagonal with 5 waves to the downside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it can either rocket from here and just shoot up, or it makes another ABC to the downside, another ABC to the downside, and then it rockets up. Okay, but your C wave can end in a contracting diagonal, but based on the little bit of price action that we have at the moment, it is still very, very early to call for a scenario like that. Okay, you at least want to take this low. Once we take this low, if price had to come down and it takes this low over here, I would say, okay, now we can start talking about contracting diagonals, okay? Because 1, 2, 3 has to take, the third wave has to take that low. And then you go back up for a fourth wave, and then you go back down for a fifth wave. Right, and then you end the C wave in a contracting diagonal. But as you can see, it's still very early to call for the scenario over here. Based on bullish CVD, purely based on bullish CVD technical data, I do think that this scenario carries lower probability, but probability nonetheless. I would say maybe the scenario carries 30% probability. The highest probability that that price action carries at the moment is still to continue sideways before we either see a nice breakout to the upside or a further continuation to the downside. But the probabilities are still higher to come and claim the high. Okay, from a bull market structure perspective, the probabilities are still higher to at some point come and claim the high. Okay, right. Let me go back onto the 8-hour time frame and just explain that very briefly over here. Let's put off the trends. Let me put on, where did I save that little guy? Here we go. Okay, I know it looks messy, but let's just zoom into the structure. Okay, I'm not going to go to it in too much detail right now, but based on a 1-2, 1-2, I still expect the 4 to be finished at some stage. Maybe the 4 is still going to take a while before it's done. Maybe it ends here with a contracting diagonal, but basically what I want to try and get to is that there is still a higher chance to go at least make one more high, to claim the highs and make one more high before we just continue and crash down. Okay, so the price action inside of this structure, whether it comes down and it claims the liquidity over here, okay, at what, $85,000, worst case scenario, even if price comes down to $85,000, the probabilities are still higher to go and claim the high. Okay, I just want to make that clear because I can see how bearish people get. Okay, I can see how bearish they get when they see red on the charts. Okay, bull market is over. I see the people with the ridiculous thumbnails. Bull market is over. Okay, sell your bags. Why did you even buy altcoins? I don't think the party is over just as yet. Maybe, you know, there's a scenario that we are going into silly season, which is Christmas and New Year's. And I remember from last year, do you guys remember what happened last year? November, well, more specifically, December. Do you guys remember what happened last year, December? Let's go back. Let's go back. I just want to show you guys what happened last year, December. Maybe it will be better to go into the 12-hour time frame, zoom out. Let's just go and find last year, December. This is what happened last year, December. Okay, October, November, and December. This is where December started, right? This is where December started, and this is where December ended. That is what happened in December. December can be a very boring sideways month. It's just chopping up, chopping down, chopping up, chopping, but it did not leave the zone. It just stayed in the zone. And what if, okay, comparing it to this price action over here, definitely the possibility that price could just stay in the zone, okay, before it makes a decision, right? Just ranging sideways. And then, you know, the range traders are going to have a blast. You short the tops, you long the bottoms. You short the tops, you long the bottoms, right? It's as simple as that. Cool, legends. So, but I mean the probabilities, even after a sideways range, yeah, doesn't matter how choppy it gets to the downside, the probabilities are still higher to go and claim this high eventually. Okay, before we potentially see a much deeper correction to the downside. And when I say much deeper correction to the downside, I would say past $85,000. You really, inside of this structure, you really don't want to surpass the $85,000 area. It's fine if it weaks below and it gets acceptance back above, but this should be the level that holds. Okay, this should be the level that holds as a maximum bearish target. Okay. So legends, I've now explained the worst case scenario over here as well. Okay, worst case scenario, we need to hold $85,000. Best case scenario is that there's still a higher probability to go and claim the high and even go a little bit higher. And I reckon maybe $120,000 is not too far off. I'm not saying that this is definitely the target, but we are potentially forming some sort of structure that needs to give us bullish momentum to the upside, where we need to form a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside to go and complete the fifth wave in orange and the third wave in green. Okay, cool. Now that I've gone through that, right? You got your daily dose of Elliot wave theory over here. Okay. And we are still inside of that. Well, for those of you that did take the trade, you should still be inside of that trade, right? I hope you are still inside that trade. You didn't FOMO out or your stop loss didn't get hit. But it looks like it wants to get upwards momentum. Okay. Ooh, it is building up ever so slightly. Small bullish, a bearish CVD against these pivots. Just want to see. We have some small local bearish CVD, but that already played out. Okay. I'm seeing bearish CVD against those pivots. The low was the target. It already played out. Okay, so CVD is neutral at the moment. Okay, cool. Legends, let's go through some comments over here. And then we can dive into some potential trading opportunities as well. And remember, for those of you that only joined now, I see we have 283 people watching, 75 likes. We can do better than that, right, legends? For those of you that are only watching now, down in the description, Weeks has got the up to 20K sign-up bonus. Low trading fees by only using this link, and then they've got this competition running that you can register for new and existing users if you've already used my link, because it's exclusive for the Bitcoin Census community, which is myself and Andy's community. Okay, the more you trade, the more you can spin this little wheel over here. Okay, unfortunately I cannot spin, damn it. I would have liked to win that one BTC. That would be absolutely amazing, right? Imagine winning $90,000, $95,000. Where are we trading at the moment? 95. You're basically winning $95,000, right? The more you trade, the more times you can spin this wheel. If any of you do win that $95,000 or the one Bitcoin over here, please let me know in the comments, because that would be absolutely amazing if one of the community members over here wins this Bitcoin. That would be absolutely amazing. But any of the prizes, let me know. Okay, I think the only prize that I don't like over here is the bag, right? What am I going to do with the Louis Vuitton bag? Sell it? I don't know. Because my wife also doesn't like handbags. I can't even give it to her. Right, legends, let's get back into the analysis, go through some comments, and dive into a couple of altcoins that looks like a juicy. Right, Pac-Man, welcome to the house. I feel your pain. Okay, I feel your pain. SGS, welcome to the live stream. Dewald, what if your C wave is not finished in triangle? Asking for a friend. In the triangle? In the triangle? What do you mean? In this triangle? right? Or this triangle over here. Let's see. Let's try and, I mean, legends, there are so many ways to count this. ABC, okay? This is this little structure here, okay? Before I get into what Mr. SGS is asking over here, this little structure gives me the clue that we are also gives me a clue that probabilities are still higher to move up. Why are you saying that? Well, for impulses to the downside, you want to see a 5-wave structure to the downside. So for Bitcoin to go to levels, this must be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we only formed a 3-wave structure to the downside. Okay? So if this is a B, C to the downside, now you go into WXY territory, very complex corrective structure territory. But this is the good news. Because this is a 3-wave structure to the downside, it increases probabilities that you are sooner or later going to come and take out the high. If this was a 5-wave structure to the downside, I would have said, oh boys, I think we need to start looking for shorts. It is not looking so great, because then you could potentially go up for an ABC and a 3-wave structure, and then you continue momentum to the downside. So luckily, this is a 3-wave structure. But, and this is why the only bearish case scenario that I see over here is this one. Okay? Because you can end a diagonal with 3-wave structures, but then all the structures has to be 3-wave structures. Okay, 3-wave structures in 1, a 3-wave structure in 2, and now this needs to be another 3-wave structure that's going to form here in a 3 to the downside. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. It just looks this structure looks very messy. You want to see a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then back to the upside. So this looks just very messy to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a C wave. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is what you mean, Mr. SGS, that the C wave can end in a contracting diagonal or in an expanding. It doesn't matter. Expanding is just more rare in Elliot wave theory, but this can be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But all the structures has to be 3-wave structures, because it started with a 3-wave structure. And because the scenario is rare in itself, okay, it shows me that the probabilities are higher to continue sideways. Unless if we take this low, I'm going to be paying attention to this structure over here. Okay. I do see that some of the legends are making some memes about my scribble here on the charts. Okay, every time I do this and I draw my scribbles and I show you guys the levels, people take screenshots and they post it in the community and they make fun of me. The Picasso is hard at his drawing, is drawing once again. Okay, but I don't mind. I don't mind. Right, what is CVD doing? What is CVD doing? Let's see. CVD is, well, price action is going down. CVD looks, we have bully CVD on yellow, ever so slightly on yellow. We have bully CVD, but that's it. We don't have any bearish or bully CVD on white or blue. Right, but it looks like price wants to turn around. I wouldn't be surprised, legends. This is what I said when I opened up this, you know, when I discussed this trading scenario over here. That is definitely a trade that I would have gotten into, and if I got stopped out, that's it. I get stopped out many times as a trader. That's just part of the game. Okay, this is why I don't risk more than what I can afford to lose. If I get stopped out, if I entered this trade and I get stopped out, I will take the knock. That's just how I trade. But I wouldn't be surprised if price action takes the 786 and then gets acceptance back above. Okay, it does look better. It does look better. Maximum target should be the 786. If you're going to start dancing around the 88, you increase the probabilities that any movement away is corrective and you could come and take the low. Oof. Yeah. It would be nice to get a double bottom based on bully CVD. Okay. Worst case scenario. I think I did discuss this during the beginning of the live stream. Worst case scenario, if we do not get a bounce in this zone, okay, and price falls down and it gets acceptance back above this low, I'm going to say game on. This is a higher probable trade based on the insane bullish CVD building up. Okay, but maybe we'll get the bounce in this area. Right, okay, and now you've obviously now been stopped out. I hope you took the knock on the chin and you're not moving your stop loss away. But I mean, CVD is still insanely bullish looking at this structure. It's really insanely bullish. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if we find support there by the 786. But ideally for that triangle to play out, so let's go back here onto the 1 hour time frame. Okay, and we just speculate on this little triangle over here. Yeah, and then these lows. Okay, so ideally A, B, C. Okay, so Mr. Ishi, you must probably also talking about if this is A, B, C. Are you saying maybe the C wave is not in? Yes, as long as you don't take that low. Okay, as long as you don't take this low, you could still be forming the A, B, C here to the downside. As long as you don't take this low, but you can take that low. Okay, so the rule is you're not allowed to take that low. If we're forming an A, B, C, D, E, and then we break out to the upside, is this high. Well, this high is not allowed to take that high. This low is not allowed to take that low. This low is not allowed to take that low. So this C wave, okay, this potential C wave here to the downside can still come down a little bit further. And all we will do is we will just adjust the flag to the new low. Okay, hope that makes sense. I'm almost sure, SGS, I think I got a little bit confused over there, right? I think maybe this is what you mean. Inside of the triangle, can the C wave not come further down? Yes, it can, as long as it doesn't take the low. So I hope I've answered your question over there. My friend says, okay, thanks. You guys are hilarious. Right, Mr. Fintel, SGS, what means, bro. Love Elliot wave theory, Mr. Pac-Man. Yes, I also love Elliot wave theory. I don't particularly use Elliot wave trading. I don't use Elliot waves to do my trading per se. Sometimes I use it as part of my trading strategy, and there has been a couple of occasions where I have traded Elliot waves only on the 1 minute time frame. Can you believe? And I actually did a live stream about that where I went through the entire structure on the 1 minute time frame, and I showed everyone how I longed and shorted purely based on Elliot wave theory. But boy, oh boy, did I go to bed with a headache, because you have to focus, you have to work out the fibs, you have to enter, you have to exit, you have to put your stop losses. I mean, you guys know how fast the 1 minute time frame moves, okay? But I have done it, but now I just use it as another level of confluence, right? And I use my swing failure patterns, my D-line strategy. Those are the trading strategies that I really enjoy using from a trading perspective. I can just imagine with Bitcoin taking this dump here to the downside that the alts are bleeding out a little bit as well. Okay, legends, I quickly want to discuss ETH over here. No financial advice. I also love Dewald. Thank you so much. I love you too, man. I love all the legends inside of here. Sorry, I meant Elliot. I see you. I see you. Does your brother also do Elliot wave on 1 minute? You said he makes $5 into 1K. Yes, my brother also loves Elliot wave theory. I'm not sure if he uses it as part of his trading strategy, but I mean, yeah, I mean, he also knows Elliot wave theory. I'm not too familiar with his trading strategy, so I need to ask him maybe at some point. Right, TA on ETH, please. And what's the bearish possibility? Let's discuss that. This is what I have here at the moment. Yes, Dewald, your Picasso drawing. Okay, you guys are going to make memes about my Picasso drawing here again. What on earth is going on here? Okay, it just looks like a complete mess. Well. Okay, this is why I have an object tree. Problem solved. Okay, problem solved. Legends, what I first want to discuss over here is when I look at the bullish structure over here. Okay, let me just switch on the lines because people like to see the lines. It makes a lot more sense. This structure, okay, does carry slight higher probability where we finished an ABC to the downside. We have finished a one wave to the upside in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have made the second wave, okay, at the 0.382, which is a minimum target for a second wave. And a lot of people are saying, well, this wave 2 is a little bit shallow. It needs to come down further. Okay, and this is why I have the red line here to the downside, is to say that what does make more sense from a timing perspective, okay, if we consider that the bull run could potentially end by Q4 of next year, this scenario carries higher probabilities where the low is in and we are going to continue momentum to the upside to go and complete the third wave. Okay. Because of timing, and then you're going to complete this third wave around about August next year, maybe go into the fourth wave, and I mean that already takes you into January 26, okay, to go and complete the fifth wave. So ideally you actually want to move up the structure even a little bit more, okay. Ideally you want to move up the structure to say that, well, if history is going to repeat itself and the bull market is going to last round about until next year, latest end of October, right, this structure needs to play out very quickly, and this is why this structure carries the highest probability. There are lots of bullish signs, 0.88 tap over here when you take a fib from the high to the low, and for this structure to play out, it needs to happen quickly. And third waves are really aggressive. They can really get really punchy very quickly to the upside. You make a fourth wave, you do a fifth wave, bull market done, and then you come back down for a correction. From a bearish case perspective, I just have to talk about it, is that we could still come down for one more low, taking these lows over here to round about the 0.618 level over here, okay? And then all that will happen is this too moves over there. But now there's a problem, okay? A little bit of a problema over here, because if we have to give time for price to dump to the downside and find support and eventually then continue back to the upside, nothing just does this and this and this. I mean, you can see things takes time to play out, okay? The waves take time to play out, right? So the problem that comes in over here is that if Ethereum is still going to do a deeper correction to the downside, it means that this entire structure needs to move up, okay? And then you could potentially only finish the third wave round about Q2 of 2026, and that's supposed to be where we are in a bear market, right? So from a timing perspective, I'm not saying that this probability cannot play out, but from a timing perspective, it makes way more sense, okay, for this structure not to create another low. This is the low for now, and whatever retracement happens inside of this zone is potentially still a great buying opportunity where we are still in the formation of a third wave here to the upside. From a timing perspective, this scenario carries higher probability, okay. If price had to come down to the 0.618, by all means, maybe the bull run is going to continue for a little bit longer than anyone expected. Okay. Right. And what I've basically done over here is I've combined the bearish and the bullish case scenario over here. Okay. Well, this arrow needs to point to number 3. So I don't think price can travel back in time. Okay. Do you guys see the conundrum? Do you see the conundrum? If ETH still has to make another low, okay, it almost has to travel back in time for the bull market to end more or less where people, well, where some of the technical analysts expect it to end, including myself. Okay, when I say some of the myself, right, I've done this little chart. I'm not sure if anyone has seen it, and I think most of the legends in here has seen this chart that I prepared purely based on data. I won't spend too much time on it. but I have done an extensive data and an analysis based on previous cycles to see how could this cycle potentially play out, when could it end, and right, are we still in bull market territory? And based on all the previous cycles, the 4 years, okay, each cycle takes 4 years. Guys, this is alpha. I think that not a lot of people are sharing. Okay, well done. Right, each cycle for each halving has lasted 4 years, more or less, until the next halving. 4 years, next halving. 4 years, next halving. Okay, and now we're going to go into 4 years and where we will get the next halving. It's not exact, but it's close enough, right? It's like a couple of months off. Right? Yes, legends, smash up the like for the education over here. So, looking at the structure, 4-year cycle where the halving takes place, the bull market always started, okay, 50% of the time before the halving, and it lasted for another 50% of the time after the halving. So in the bull market, all the previous bull markets, the halving was in the middle. Halving was in the middle. That's where the bull market started. That's where the bull market started. Halving is in the middle. Okay, this is where we are right now. Halving took place and we still have a way to go, right? Then after 3 years, okay, because that's how long each bull market lasted here, more or less 3 years. 3 years, you get the picture. 1 year, 1 year, 1 year, 1 year. So based on this data that I've done, not because I feel like it and I believe any other technical analyst out there, okay, it looks like the bull market still needs to continue at least until next year, September, October. Right? It can be a couple of months off. It can either end a little bit sooner or it can last a little bit longer. But based on this analysis, it tells me that ETH needs to make a move soon to the upside. So for me at the moment, ETH, the dips are still made for buying. Right, and if things get really nasty to the downside, we know about this level over here, where you basically claim this low, you bounce here either on the 50% or 618. The 618 does look like a higher probable bouncing area because of this. Right, so if I switch on the bearish case scenario over here, if we are forming a W, X, Y to the downside, there is your 0.618 extension together with the 618 over here. So nicely in confluence in this zone. So if this is a bearish structure to the downside, you in a WXY, this is the zone that you need to pay attention. But from a timing perspective, it doesn't make sense. Okay, but at least we know about it. Right, so that is the analysis on ETH over here. Let's go and look at ETH on the smaller time frames. Okay, let's dive in here on the smaller time frames. Let's go to the 2 hour even. Okay, let's kind of like to see what is cooking over here. Right, I mean, this was nice little price action where you swept up the liquidity. I like little clear pivots like this. I mean, even on the 2 hour time frame. Okay, this is what you learn from a swing failure pattern perspective. Okay, when you see clear pivots like this, clear pivots. Okay, but now I'm looking at this structure to the downside, clear pivots on the 1 hour time frame. Not every single pivot that you see, because people get swing failure crazy and they try and SFP every single pivot that they see on the 5-minute time frame. No, I like to look at the clear pivots on the higher time frames. Clear pivot. Clear pivot. So this was a beautiful SFP where you dip below, you claim the liquidity, okay, where this could be a back test for continuation to the upside. And if it's going to lose this zone, then I'm looking at this pivot. Okay, for potential loadout zone. Full disclaimer, I bought a little bit of ETH over here. Just a little bit. I bought a little bit of ETH because I saw the price action recover back above that level. We came back for a retest. So, and I am prepared to add a little bit more. If we lose this zone, I'm prepared to add a little bit more. Okay, so now to the downside, right? I also like that this little wick, this little flash crash to the downside ended on so much volume. I really like that. When a move ends on a massive amount of volume. It could either be green or red or purple volume in my case. It's usually the end of something and the start of something new. So this could be the end of the correction, and we're going to start building impulses back to the upside. But I would still consider an SFP from that low, because now you are dropping down again on much lower volume at the moment. So I would still, inside of this local structure over here, if things get really nasty here on ETH, I would still like that price action. Just like I've discussed on Bitcoin, where you basically SFP from the low and you get acceptance back above. Okay. Right, if it gets more nasty here to the downside, I'm looking at that pivot and that pivot over there, right? So you want price to go down and just draw it and get acceptance back above. If you lose this zone, you want price to come down, and this is all we can do as technical traders. We observe the price reaction at each level and we make a trading decision. Right, because I mean, even from a day trading perspective, if you played this SFP, if I go here onto the 15-minute time frame, okay, this is quite a nice move here to the upside. Let's just wait for price to load up over here. So if you played this SFP right over here, okay, price dips below, you're not scared, you're not emotional about price action, you see the opportunity, price gets acceptance back above, you enter with your stop below the low. I mean, that is a nice little move. As price moved up here, it moved up by 8%. It's an 8% move here to the upside until you started hitting resistance. Okay, can you see the resistance that we hit? Resistance, okay? That's where technical traders take profits. You take profits at resistance. Right. But I mean, it has a chance. It does have a chance to make a higher low over here and then continue momentum back to the upside. Because I can just imagine with Bitcoin making this insane bullish CVD at the moment, perhaps the altcoins will follow suit. Okay. Right. Most of the legends took that trade. I feel like it hasn't shaken enough people out yet. Please check CVD at the moment. Right, CVD is neutral, okay? CVD is absolutely neutral here at the moment. If you're saying most of the legends took this trade, did we tap the 7? Oh, we tapped the 786 and we tapped the 0.8. It has a chance because this could be ABC. No, ABC. Okay, this could be. I mean, it's just this corrective structure is so difficult. This could be a B wave to the downside, and then it creates a C wave back to the upside. Okay, which taps the 0.88. But then from a probability perspective, you know, usually when you tap the 0.88, any move away is usually corrective, and you increase the probabilities of taking the low. Okay, so we have a couple of probabilities playing against us. We have massive bullish CVD, right? Which confirms that you can take the high. Remember, the CVD on these two pivots basically says that's your target. The highest point between the two pivots is your target. Okay, but now you've tapped the damn 0.88. So now you're like, ugh. What now? Okay, I wanted to see a maximum bounce at the 786. Now we tapped the 0.88. Not great, right? Because now you have a probability of coming to claim the low, and based on bullish CVD, you also have a probability to claim the high. So all you can do is just trade with great risk management, speculating on the movement to the upside, right? But I will still be interested if price comes down and it sweeps the low, maybe taps the trend there at the bottom and it gets acceptance back above. Well, that trend is not really valid yet. Okay, I just moved it ever so slightly. But this is what I want to see. I want to see price dip below and get acceptance back above. Okay, if it's not just going to recover from where it is right now. This does not look impulsive. What is this? A three-wave structure. This is not impulsive. ABC, ABC. Okay, it's just, this is all corrective. This is not impulsive at the moment. This is just very confusing price action to trade. Okay, oof, what a nice bounce to the upside. What a nice bounce to the upside. Okay, but CVD is at, oof, we're building bearish CVD on blue against these pivots. Okay, so price needs to take these pivots to invalidate the bearish CVD. Can you guys see on blue? We are making some bearish CVD. So maybe the probability of the 0.88 could be playing out, right? You're making bearish CVD. Only on blue, okay? Almost on yellow, not yet on white. If price can claim the level properly, okay, then we have a chance to get some upwards momentum. Right, but I don't like the 0.88 tap over there. I just don't like it, but I'm not saying that this can't happen where you claim the highs. I'm not saying it can't happen. It's just you have now two probabilities playing against each other. Okay, you have a probability of when you tap the 0.88, you increase the probabilities of claiming the low. Now you have massive bullish CVD, which increases the probabilities of taking the high. But, local CVD always takes priority over larger time frame CVD. So maybe, okay, when I look at the larger time frame over here, I can spot some bullish CVD, okay? Can you guys see? There's your pivot. CVD is tanking to the downside, so that is bullish, right? But now here, guess what? We're making bearish CVD. Local CVD will always override whatever larger time frame CVD is doing. And that's just technical analysis at the end of the day, right? It's just technical analysis. And I can see that there are a lot of longs jumping into the market at the moment. Guys, please don't trade with $10 million. Just be, just take it slow this time. Okay, leave your $10 million positions for other trades. Okay, I can see you guys are entering here with millions of dollars. Finn, don't confuse the CVD, aka Canada. What is the CVD? The CVD, okay, if you have not heard about CVD, I've got 297 people watching over here, and there could be a couple of you that has never heard about it's not CBD, it's CVD, cumulative volume delta. So you can go and Google it and see what it is for yourself. Cumulative volume delta, CVD, right? And what CVD is, it's one of the very few indicators that gives you real-time information. It's not like the RSI or many of the indicators on TradingView, which is lagging. And what CVD does, in a nutshell, is it shows you what retail is doing and what market makers are doing, okay? So the basic principles of CVD is that when you form a low and you form a higher low, okay, on price action, higher low on price action, and CVD is tanking to the downside, so you have lower low on CVD, okay? This means that smart money is absorbing the shorts from retail. So this is bullish. It means that retail wants the price to go down, and smart money is saying, we're not done yet. We are absorbing all of your shorts, so we are filling our long bags and we're going to send it up. Okay, we're going to send it up. The highest point between the two pivots where the CVD is forming is your target, right? So if price finds the strength over here and it claims the target, then your bullish CVD has played out. And there's a lot of traders that only use CVD as part of their trading strategies. That's all they trade is CVD. And they've gotten so good to it, they're even able to predict the fake outs, and this one doesn't look right, the probabilities against these pivots. But inside of our Legends Pro community, I did make a tutorial. Where's our Legend trading tools? Okay, I did make a tutorial over here on how to use CVD properly. So first link down in the description to join our Legends Pro community. And this is where I share the templates and the video and the education with everyone. Okay, right. So that is CVD in a nutshell. And it obviously works in reverse when you're shorting the market to the downside. So what happened over here, okay? I remember we had bearish CVD over here. Can you guys see this? You have a high, you have a lower high, and guess what? On yellow, look at this. Look at where yellow is and look at where it ended, right? Look at this massive bearish CVD building up. a crazy amount of people, retail, trying to long this zone over here. They were trying to long this zone as CVD just shot up here. You could see that market makers was just not having it. Okay, we see you. We see you want to push price up. Just fill up our short bags, and they sent the price down. And there you could see it on CVD. It showed you that retail wanted the price to go up, but market makers said, stuff you. We are going to send it down, baby. Down, down, down. So it just works in reverse. Right. Ooh, what a nice bounce here to the upside. Absolutely beautiful. We've now officially invalidated the berry CVD. Ooh, okay. We've invalidated the local berry CVD. So maybe price is going to continue here to the upside. Mr. Crypto Big Brains, I have packed my bags again on this last dip. Yes, let's go. Okay. The legends in the pro community, I'm sure, has taken these trades. I just want to see what is the trading setups. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. I see Mr. Aiden here in the house is also looking at this pivot. Okay, he's also looking at this pivot for potential SFP. Right, but we might not get it. We all know in the Legends Pro community, we all know that the 0.88 has become the new golden pocket. Right? It looks like it's going to claim the low. It looks like it's going to claim the low, and then it just leaves without you. Right? So the legends know this already. We've been through this a couple of times. Okay. Right. I do like that we are trading above this high. Okay. This low. Sorry, this low. It is really a nice sign that we're trading above over here. And it's also, I will be honest with you guys, it's nice to be doing a little bit of deeper technical analysis on Bitcoin, because the last 2-3 weeks was just this altcoin. Can you look at this altcoin? Everyone what just went altcoin before. Okay, altcoin crazy. And it's nice to do a little bit proper technical analysis on the price of Bitcoin, because when Bitcoin farts, okay, everything just crashes to the downside. And then everyone wants to pay attention to Bitcoin again. Love your TA so much. Thank you, Dewald. It's an absolute pleasure. I missed it. Maybe it wants a better 1 hour close. What else is here? Does CVD work on all altcoins too? I have CVD only, no, it doesn't work for all altcoins unless you go and develop a script. And I only have a CVD template for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, and Solana. But the CVD works the best on Bitcoin because it's a mature market. Elliott wave theory works the best on Bitcoin because it's a mature market. And what do I mean by mature? It has a lot of money inside of it. So it's not that easily manipulated. It takes big institutions and large players to move the price of Bitcoin. And the more money goes into a specific market, okay, the more it respects levels and Elliott wave theory. You will often hear even Elliott wave, what do they call themselves? Elliotticians will say that the more mature the market, the more it respects Elliott wave theory. Low cap altcoins, for example, it's an absolute nightmare to do Elliott wave theory on some of the low cap altcoins, because it has such a small market cap. It can be manipulated a lot quicker, and then it breaks the rules for Elliott wave theory. So you often have to bend the rules a little bit when you apply Elliott wave theory to altcoins, because it's so easily manipulated. Okay, I remember buying some umbrella a month ago, a couple of weeks ago. I bought some umbrella and my entry moved the price. That is scary. That is scary, right? My entry moved the price of umbrella. And it wasn't a big entry, by the way. It wasn't a big entry. Okay, cool. Legends, I have done technical analysis here on the price of Bitcoin, on Ethereum. Okay, some of the next trading opportunities that I can like to be spotting over here is Mr. AR. Yes, Dewald, are you still bullish on AR? Yes, I am still bullish on AR over here. And I do like, okay, we had one could argue, okay, Dewald, we've lost trend. Okay, we had a nice little trend here to the upside. Now, what is this? Okay, it could be a fake out as long as this low is protected. You don't really want to change market structure over here. And that is the low that needs to hold before you change market structure. If AR had to do this, okay, it takes the low properly over here, I'm going to be like, oh, okay, you're most probably going to form a lower high and then continue momentum to the downside. But as long as this low is still intact and it finds consolidation in this zone, you still have a higher low, okay, which means you can still go and make a higher high, right? And this is why this zone is still juicy for me, okay? So what I did, okay, this morning when I saw the crash here to the downside, I went a little bit altcoin shopping, a little bit, just a little bit altcoin shopping. My entry, here's my entry. I can show everyone, okay? There's my entry now at the moment, 15.5. That's my entry at the moment. It was over here by 14, okay? So I added, morning lovely mods, I added ever so slightly to my position to now have an entry at 50.5. So I don't like to add too aggressively to my trades, okay, where it brings my entry to here, because I don't like to be underwater. I'd rather still be safe. Okay, I'd rather still want to be on the safe side. And then maybe when price starts pumping here back to the upside and it makes another higher low, I will add a little bit more. Okay, I will just drag my entry maybe to below this low over here. So I still have a fairly good entry here on AR, but this zone does look juicy to me. We are finding support at the 0.5 fib, taking a fib from the low to the high, finding support here by the 0.5 fib. Nice little high volume. It could be the end of something and the start of something new here to the upside. On the smaller time frames, if you don't know what to do, you're too scared, okay, go on to the 15-minute. I'm tracking this momentum line. So you could be one of those traders that says, there's no ways in hell I'm buying anything over here, okay? Then you wait for the break of the trend. This also looks like a bump and run. It looks like it wants to form a bump and run. You just don't know if this is the bottom formation or if it still wants to go down before it goes up. Right. But it does look like it's finding support in this zone, and the bulls need to defend this zone aggressively. I don't really want to see us tap the 0.618 over here, because then you're messing around with this low. It's fine to have a double bottom, perfectly fine to have a double bottom, but I don't want to see us take the low like that, right? Where you're forming a clear lower low. Okay. If it still taps the 0.618 over here, it's fine, because then you have a double bottom and that's a bullish sign. But if the bulls can defend this zone, okay, just watch for the trend. You guys can see I have my alarm set over here just for curiosity. I want to see when it breaks out. Okay, legends, smash up the like for the education over here. Remember, down in the description, AR can be traded on both Bluffin and Weeks. On Weeks, you get some of the lowest trading fees. On Bluffin, you get that special that they have at the moment. The more you trade, the more money they airdrop into your futures account. Beautiful. Okay, on Weeks, the more you trade, the more times you can spin this beautiful wheel over here. Okay, guys, let me know if you win this one BTC or any of these prizes. Let me know here in the comments, in the future live streams. Obviously, the competition will only open in 20 hours from now, so you still have a chance to register and sign up. All you need is an email and a password, and then the more you trade, the more chances you will get to spin this awesome wheel over here where you can win up to 1 Bitcoin. There's an iPhone 16, there's an Apple Watch, there's an iPad Air, there's some Weeks tokens, I think, and a Louis Vuitton bag. Or was it Louis Vuitton? I don't know how they say that in French. Okay. Cool, legends. AR is the one that looked great, right? TIA, I really, 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 really like TIA. Okay. You guys know, the people that's been here on the stream for quite some time, when we speak about the train station, okay, there's your train station, your accumulation zone before you had the breakout. This is your accumulation zone. But more importantly, the top of this box is resistance. Okay, so depending on how you draw your little box, let me just zoom into the structure, because I think I drew it ever so slightly incorrectly. It needs to be a little bit higher. Okay, that is resistance right over there. Okay, so you can see it offered support, and you lost it. Resistance, resistance, resistance. You just struggled to break out of this resistance. Then with high volume, you broke through the resistance. And basic technical analysis is, what if this is the breakout? This is the retest. We are now doing an RS flip. For those of you that don't know what a RS flip is you're flipping resistance into support. So now you want to hold the zone. Okay, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, and then continue momentum to the upside. So you've struggled for months to break out of here. Now, okay, resistance, resistance, resistance. You have broken out with high volume. That's what I look for. If the breakout happened on low volume, I would have said, doesn't look so sexy. Okay, but it broke out with high volume, so it has a high chance to hold this zone as support. So if you were still looking to get into TIA, as always, I'm just doing this for the fun of it, right? I'm just here to entertain you guys while you're eating popcorn and drinking your Coca-Cola. Okay, no financial advice, but this is where I would buy. This is where I would buy. Build up maybe a small little leverage, long, okay, 2x, maybe 3x, right? This is where I will either build a swing position or add to my spot bags. Okay. Being comfortable with being uncomfortable means that you might be underwater a little bit. Maybe you add slightly to the position, add a little bit of capital at 0.5, then you add another 0.5. And then, but it does look good, right? You're getting the wicks to the downside, which shows strength. Okay. The drop to the downside had less volume than the pump to the upside, which shows me that the momentum carries more weight than the correction. Okay. So it has the perfect recipe. That's what I'm trying to explain over here, to continue momentum to the upside. Nothing is ever guaranteed, but it's a game of probabilities. And based on the probabilities that I see over here, is the probabilities are higher to continue to the upside than to come and claim the low again. Okay, it's purely based on probabilities, right? So TIA is one that I am looking at. Beautiful retest on the box over here. Fetch. Ooh, Fetch looks beautiful. Okay. The AI ecosystem has not run just as yet. Okay. The AI ecosystem is sleeping. It's lagging behind. It feels like it's ETH, right? You've been also exact same scenario, legends. I don't have to go into a lot of detail. Here's your train station. There's your resistance. Okay. You struggled, and then you broke out with high volume. You broke out, and this could be the retest. Okay. It could dip down a little bit further, but probabilities are still higher to claim the high before you claim the low. Okay, that's the probabilities. And you're potentially flipping this area into support, a beautiful RS flip. So if you missed, okay, the explosions here to the upside, XRP, ADA, KDA, the ones that just rampage to the upside, and everyone was asking me on the live stream, what else? Is there not another opportunity? Is there not another opportunity? Well, guys, when there's that saying from Warren Buffett, when people are fearful, you should be greedy, and when people are greedy, you should be fearful, right? There's a lot of fear and blood in the streets at the moment, and this is really uncomfortable to buy. And this is where I usually buy. I can only tell you guys what I do. So I added this morning a little bit to my spot bag. Yeah. Knowing that I can still be underwater, which is fine. I don't care, right? But I am comfortable with being uncomfortable in the short term, knowing that in the long term, I will reap the rewards. Right, legends. Let me go through a couple of comments over here. I think the news is out. BTC is having a volatile move. Really? What is BTC? Oh, it looked like it was going up. Now it's going down. It's not making up its mind. What is CVD doing? Let's check it out. No bullish CVD between those pivots just as yet. No bullish CVD. Okay. So Mr. Aiden in the house. Okay. You also spoke about this trade. This is now the next level, right? And I mean, this is how we trade as technical traders, right? You have bullish CVD on the larger time frames, where price is now at the moment, and as it was falling here to the downside. So it does increase the probabilities if things gets nasty and it dips below and it comes back up, there's another trade. And I think Aiden, rightfully highlighted this trade as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. He's also, your SFP, very interesting. I just want to see he did this as well. So when I can like to be zooming out here a little bit, right? And I take a fib from this low to the high. Ooh, it is here in confluence with the golden pocket as well. Okay, it is in confluence with the golden pocket. So it would be quite normal. You dip down below and you get acceptance back above. You go to the top of the range. Right. So legends, I mean, this is what ranges, a lot of people struggle with range trading. A lot of people struggle with range trading. And I've often see that people make insane gains during these moves. Okay, wow, thank you. I've changed my life. My portfolio has never been so green. With these trending moves to the upside, people make insane profits. And then all hell breaks loose when price starts consolidating. Okay, and there's a saying in trading that says, okay, all the money that you've made with the momentum to the upside is usually lost during the consolidation phases. This is where you try to long over here, you try to short over here, you try to long over here. And this is typically where retail gets wrecked, that they do make a lot of money to the upside when the market trends. And as soon as price goes into consolidation, they think that they're king of the castle and they've mastered trading because a rising a rising tide raises all the ships. And then they just enter at the wrong places. They go down, they liquidate their account or they position, they try and short over here, it goes up, right? So in this phase, all the profits that they've made during the trending market to the upside, they lose in this zone. I've seen it play out often, and it really takes a skill to trade a ranging market. And we could be ranging for a little bit longer. That is the bad news, right? For people that don't know how to trade the ranges, but this is why I'm here. This is why Andy's here. We teach you guys swing failure patterns, right? We teach you how to read CVD, how to get into responsible trades. As long as price is doing this, okay, without claiming the high, without claiming the low, there's still money to be made inside of this range, okay? And in our Legends Pro community, this is where we talk about it every single day. Okay, this is where Aiden highlights the trades inside of the trading setup. So this is where I do my daily technical analysis, video updates, opening up the floor for people to ask questions. Andy has his section in here where he's just dropping the alpha every single day as well. Okay, we have a chat section. And I think the thing that I really, really admire and like about the community, and I have told the people this this morning when I went live, Jude, if you're in the live stream, I see you live here on Discord as well, right? Is that the amount of love and help from the people in the community is absolutely insane. I see when a new person joins and he doesn't know what to do, right? Everyone, Mr. SGS, Pac-Man, no financial advice, Mariela, everyone just joins in and helps the person out, okay? People share technical analysis with each other. They share scenarios with each other. I really appreciate the love that is inside of this community and the spirit to help each other out, okay? It's really phenomenal. Anyways, legends, let's get back here onto Bitcoin. Okay, a little bit of volatility with the news that came out, but I mean, okay, we know what to do. We have our plans. We have our plans. Okay. Let's go through some comments. What are your levels on Solana, Sanet? My levels on Solana, I have not even looked at Solana, but let's see if Solana looks juicy. Let's do Solana. I do have a large spot bag of Solana. Whew. Oh, it does have a nice trend. Oh, that is a nice trend. I like that trend. I like the angle of that trend. Everything about that trend is beautiful. Okay, I'm going to set an alarm on that trend because I might day trade that trend. Okay, so from a simplicity perspective here on the price of Solana, okay, let's first do the simplicity, you know, the lower time frames. You can see how many breakouts there can like to have been. Okay, if you look at Solana over here, legends, you would have had one. Okay, let's count this: 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 over there, 4, 5, 6, 7 trades. You would have had 7 successful trades to the upside, and you would not have been stopped out once. 7 consecutive trades if you'd simply applied the D-line strategy. You play the breakout, you take profits by the highs every single time. You play the breakout, you take profits by the highs. You play the breakout, profits by the highs. Maybe you leave some of the position open for higher levels. And there's a different trading strategy that I applied to that, but I'm not going to go into that, right? Another trend line breakout. You claimed the highs, you claimed the highs, you claimed the highs, you claimed the highs. And then, okay, if you played this breakout with that trend over there, okay, this basically the trend that connects these highs over here, you would now have been stopped out for the first time. After 7 trades, so this is your 8th trade, you would now have been stopped out for the first time. So you can see how powerful the strategy is, especially in a trending market. When I get stopped out, okay, you have all these successful trades here to the upside. Now you get stopped out for the first time and you're like, crap, okay, what now? Okay, what I like to do is if I entered a trade over here with my stop loss below the low and my target area was the highs and price turns around, okay, and it takes the low, I adjust my trend. Doop. That's now the new trend. The trend is not finished forming. So now the angle of this trend looks way better as well. It looks better like a, you know, a 45-degree angle trend. Set your alarm. And if you don't know SFPs and you from a simplicity perspective, you don't care what happens over here. Price can come down, it can go sideways, it can go back in time, it can go into the future. You don't care what price does over here. You pay attention when your alarm goes off for a trading decision. Okay. Dewald. Okay, Bata, I will look through your comment in a moment. I just want to finish up the higher time frame analysis over here. So looking at Solana on the daily time frame, dare I say, okay, let's just do a normal regular scale over here. So 1, 3, 4, 5. Okay, if that's 3, that's 4, and we're still expecting a 5th wave here to the upside. So I'm going to give you a very conservative target, okay? People call me crazy for saying that I'm calling for $800 Solana. It is a possibility, but I don't want to be that batshit crazy person that calls for $800 and then it doesn't take place. So I'm going to give you a conservative target. Oof. And the conservative target is $421. But it's actually this entire zone. So if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 simple technical Elliott wave analysis, this is where you expect your 5th wave to end between 346 and 421. This is where the 5th wave needs to top out, and then you will potentially go back into a bear market. But this is a very conservative target, because there is a target a little bit higher that I do see potentially play out. But let's rather be careful than being over bullish. Okay, so definitely a profit taking area over here. So that wraps up the technical analysis on Mr. Solana. Okay, I just want to go back to that one comment. Someone said they posted a trading question for me inside of the Legends chat or the Bitcoin section. Let's check. Dewald always says tap the 0.88 will make price go to the golden zone, or 5.6. In this case, it touched the 5.6 before turning around. Is that your question? Right. Flux, please. Burmy, is it you that asked the question? I can't remember, right? I'm not sure if Burmy is calling, because I know people have different inside trading questions. Oh, inside trading questions. I will go answer that. Trading questions. Oh, maybe in trading questions in, yeah. Okay. Okay, is it possible scenario? Is it, yeah, you guys have different names inside of YouTube and inside of Discord. So I don't know. I've got so many questions, but I will get to the questions inside of Discord after the live stream. Okay. But for whoever, is this Alex? I don't know if this is Alex. Is it possible? Right? Is this scenario possible? Myro. Ooh, Myro. Ah, that is the one trade that I did get stopped out with a loss yesterday. Some of my trades got stopped out, full disclosure, at break even last night with a dump to the downside. Some of my swing trades got stopped out at break even, but I did take a loss on Myro. And for those of you that's been following me here on the live streams, you know that I've taken a Myro trade. I did get stopped out. You don't win all of them, right? I now did get stopped out. And because I got stopped out and it took the low, guess what? Ding, new trade. Okay. New trend forming over here. Right, but I mean, based on your question over here, um, yeah, the 1.618 does look really, really juicy here for a bounce. I'm not sure if you're here on the live stream, but I mean, this zone does look really juicy. But even that low that we made over there, if we SFP from that low, exactly the same price action that I see potentially play out on Bitcoin is also a juicy zone. So SFP from that low, or the 1.618 that you have over here, looks really great. Okay, 0.075, 0.075. Right about this zone. You're basically SFPing from these lows. Okay, grab the liquidity and you continue momentum back to the upside. It does look great. Right, or SFP from the low over here. You dip down below and you get acceptance back above. That also looks great. But now at the moment you're trading, you have now lost support. Okay. So I know that the meme coins took the hardest knock yesterday. Meme coins, I mean, they just fell to the downside. 35, 38% corrections to the downside. The meme coins took the hardest knock. So in order for me to turn bullish on Mr. Myro over here again, okay, is that we now need to do another RS flip. Okay. So we had support, right? We came back down. I was like, is it still going to hold? And then it lost it. And now it looks like it retested it and it wants to continue momentum to the downside. So it needs to reclaim this resistance. I want to see it break back. Okay, reclaim it, test it as support, and then continuation to the upside. And then there's potentially another trend they're going to form, right? Where you can play the breakout before you get to the big trend. Right, like these little trends over here. Can you see the nice little breakouts over here? So you basically want to catch the breakout, okay, before the big breakout. So you can have a better entry that's already protected by the time you get the breakout. So you don't have to try and attempt a breakout over here with huge risk management. Okay, cool. What else? Rect on Bybit, fin all exchanges, blur levels, please. Pac-Man, no sir. Lol. Blur. Right, let's go look at Blur. Legends having a blast in the chat section today. Blur. USDT. What is Blur? Is it a meme? I don't know the fundamentals, but I mean, let's look at the technicals. Let's look at KuCoin. KuCoin usually has the most amount of data. Right, let's look at Blur here on the daily time frame. Ooh. Okay, I mean, I'm not really going to pay attention to this structure. I'm just going to ignore it because it took the low. Okay, it took the low. So I'm only interested in this structure. I don't care about this structure. I cannot use this structure to calculate where this move can go to, because In Elliott wave theory, you want to see a 1, 2, higher, low, 3, 4, 5. You want to see a three-wave impulsive structure. The problem with Blur here at the moment is it still now needs to form another 1, 2 before you can see a third wave explosion to the upside. And you really only want to get into the trade in the third wave, because that's usually the nice momentum to be in. Right, so looking at this structure over here, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. Ooh, okay, this could be your contracting or expanding diagonal. It's considered rare in Elliott wave theory, but I do see it play out often on altcoins, especially on altcoins, where you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. Okay, and this could be 1, 2, and it's only getting started here in the third wave. Okay, maybe it's a 1, 2, 1, 2, and it's just gonna build up 1, 2s and continue to the upside. I just want to see, because now the problem is it overlapped. That's the problem that I see over here. Okay, if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if this is 5, ooh, almost. Okay, so if this is 1, 2, and this was 3 here to the upside, okay, and this is number 4. 4 is not allowed to go into the territory of 1, but Elliott wave theory on altcoins does sometimes break the rules, and a lot of people don't understand that, okay? Because sometimes there's low liquidity and the market cap is small, it can slightly break the rules, okay? But ideally, in a perfect world, like with Bitcoin, the Nasdaq, the S&P 500, platinum, gold, in a mature market, okay, that retracement is not allowed to take that high. So if you were trading this from an Elliott wave perspective, still expecting a fourth wave and a fifth wave to the upside, this retracement is not allowed to tap wave 1. Not allowed to. If this is 1, it's not allowed to go into that territory. But I have seen some altcoins do it. And then your experienced Elliott wave counters, when they see this and then price moves up, they cannot make sense of the structure, because some of them don't realize that coins with low market caps break some of the rules. You have to bend the rules slightly. Okay. Cool. So basically what I want to say over here is that, you ideally, that needs to be your low. And any retracement here to the downside is potentially a great load up zone. Speculating on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to still come and take the high one once more. Then you're potentially going to make an A, B, C to the downside, not taking this low. And then, okay, you will have your trend, and you want to play this wave, because this wave, that is the third wave. That is the face melting wave. That is the XRP wave. That is the ADA wave. That is the wave that runs away and it doesn't give you a time to get in. This structure now still needs to form a 1, 2, a bigger 1, 2, 3 to the upside, because this one has been invalidated. So if the price found support here, so ignore this price action. If price found support over here, 1, 2, okay, this is the wave you want to be in, wave 3. Okay, so this structure now still needs to form before you can expect a third wave to the upside. Okay. Hope you guys are enjoying the education. Smash up the like, okay? Share some love, share some support, and let's see. I want to see if Blur can be traded on weeks. Just for the curious. Can Blur be traded on weeks? Let's check. Yes, Blur can be traded on weeks. Link down in the description, where you get up to 20K sign-up bonus. You get one of the exchanges with the lowest trading fees, where you only need an email and a password to sign up. And you can go and spin the wheel. The more you trade, you can win that one Bitcoin. I wish I could enter this competition for that one Bitcoin over there. But right, legends, the more you trade, the more you can spin the wheel over here. Cool. Now we get into a layer AI. Let's go into layer AI. I saw someone spoke about layer AI, and I am still bullish on layer AI. It feels like the AI ecosystem has not had its run just as yet, because when I look at most of the altcoins, most of them that are inside of the AI space has not run, like Fetch. Did I tell you guys I bought Fetch this morning? Yes, I did. Okay, so a lot happening here, but let's zoom into the smaller time frames, okay? Because now we're looking for buying opportunities. Layer AI actually is finding support at the 1.236 extension. So let me just clean up the chart ever so slightly over here. Let me take this trend out the way. Okay, let me just clean up the noise over here. Right, so this is the corrective structure that I see here. So it had a peak over here, it had a dump, it had, oh, where's my pen? My pen disappeared. And it had a double top at exactly the same level. So this looks like your corrective structure, your A, B, and this is the C wave to the downside, a 3-wave corrective structure. Okay, and the 1-to-1, beautiful corrective structure target. 1.236, where we currently finding support. Okay, beautiful corrective structure target, and an extended corrective structure target is the 1.618. But at the moment, it is holding this level. So I did open up a small layer AI trade on Bluffin and on Weeks this morning. Okay, low leverage 2x positions, and it's either going to find support here and it's going to come and break the trend. Okay, and I will see. Okay, I have my trend a little bit steep with this little fake out to the upside, and the reason I have my trend like this is that when I zoom in, there's only wicks to the upside, no body closes. So I want to catch the breakout potentially before it happens, but if you want to be a little bit more conservative, you can have your trend over there. Okay, so what I would like to see for layer AI is to find support in the zone, and it's fine if it claims these lows and it dips to the 1.618 and it gets acceptance back above. I will add a little bit more to my swing positions. I am not scared. I know where my invalidation is, and my invalidation is below the lows. Okay, that is a clear invalidation for me. Okay, I do have quite a large spot bag of layer AI. So this to me is just a swing trade that I'm going to take, or that I am in at the moment on Bluffin and Weeks. Yes. Right. So you might not get this. That's the problem. You might not get this. And this is why I got in over here, because I realized that this is an amazing common corrective structure target by the 1.236. Because you might not get the low to the downside. But if it goes down lower, I will add to my position, right? But this looks like it could be, what does this look like? This to me looks like a potential bump and run, where you have the two pivots at the top, you had the bump phase, and you could potentially build up a run phase where you break out and you come and claim the high. Okay, so layer AI, I mean, it looked so great. It was trading above the trend, chopping, chopping, chopping. We were all expecting that nice little breakout to the upside. But like most of the layer, the AI tokens, they just took a little bit of a back seat. So, but I am still bullish in the long run. Okay, I'm still willing to give it a go over here. Okay, so that's basically what I see on layer AI. For me, it is in a great load up zone, still where it is at the moment, maximum 0.013. Okay, I don't want to see it go down further than the 1.618. Okay, ideally it needs to find support in this zone. Cool, that is basically the technical analysis on Mr. Layer over here. Double down on UMA. Yes, I also have a spot bag of UMA. Dewald, can we look at IMX? Right, legends, I have unfortunately run out of time. Okay, what is Bitcoin doing here? Like I've said, in summary, legends, what I'm looking at over here is a double bottom. Okay, you sweep up the lows, potentially you sweep up the lows. I will be interested in a long, only if price recovers. Okay, and right, that is basically the long that I'm looking for over there. If things gets nasty, you take this low, then we have that contracting diagonal to the downside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, in an ending diagonal that's completing a C wave, right? Where you have an A, B, C, and then you continue momentum to the upside. Still very early to call for the scenario over here. But I mean, if you guys want the proper scoop on the technical analysis that I've already done on Bitcoin, I'm not going to go through all the scenarios once again. Just go rewind and watch the beginning of the live stream. Leia isn't an investment. Well, I do have a spot bag. Okay. For me, it's not an investment. For me, it's a buy and sell. Okay. For me, it's a buy and sell, and I know exactly where I'm going to take profits. Right. Thank you, Dewald. Irina, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching the entire live stream over here. I appreciate every single one of you. Smash up the like on your way out. And legends, enjoy the evening, morning, or afternoon from where you are, wherever in the world. And until the next one, cheers for now.